Roll sound.
Sound speeds.
That's all he ever does, really.
Pretty much.
Period.
What's up, everyone? This is David Anthony Butler, writer and director of a brand new web series coming to you very soon, Single. And I wanted to take the time for you to meet the people behind the show. I know every show has this now where they show the creators, but I think it's important because we are such a small team. Most of these shows that you guys watch have just assistants to the assistants to the assistants, and I think it's worth noting that we've done this collectively as a very small group. I think it's worth honoring, which is why I took the time to have you guys with us today, and just show that gratitude. So I will let them introduce themselves, and then we'll kind of just talk a bit about our experience, and we'll see if it's any fun. Ladies first.
Oh, what's up, guys? I'm Mackenzie Standback, and I am the production assistant.
And she also is doing all of the marketing. Don't ever forget that title as well.
Yes! Check out single.IGTM Productions on Instagram and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Pretty fun stuff going on.
My name's Caleb Minch. I'm an audio engineer. I run the sound and kind of just do whatever David tells me to do.
Yes, that is a prerequisite to the position. It's actually right there, right under fill in your name.
I actually signed a contract.
Yeah, it says,
Yeah.
Do you agree to do everything I say?
Pretty much.
Give me that monster real quick.
So, single is probably something that's been in my head for a very long time. I always knew I wanted to do something like this, although I didn't imagine doing a web series. It was actually this guy named Dante who was doing one, and I knew some of the actors, and Dom was in it. Everyone knows Dom, who's in Single. It was her friend. I was checking it out, and I was like, I think a web series would be the right way to get this done. And so I started writing it. And even when I was writing it, I didn't plan on making it at first. Like I'd written a few funny things that I was going to do as a short. And then I saw the web series. I was like, no, I think we could do a web series. And that was probably the first time I got serious about it. Just because you do the short films, and it's a lot of hard work, and then it's just gone. It's out there, and I felt like a series would be a stronger way to show what I'm capable of, what the writing is, what the filming is, and have a longer lasting impact. And so that's really when I was like, okay, I think we can do this. Part of me feeling comfortable about being able to do it was having Caleb, because I knew, at least from my point, the shooting would be well, and I have a sound guy I can trust to deliver that part as well. And I think at first I was going to just like, all right, me and Caleb can do it, right? Like that's going to be enough. We've done some things where it's just the two of us, and it's good, but it's always like I'm focused on what I'm focused on, you're focused on what you're focused on.
Yeah.
And I really felt like, well, we need that third part to focus on the things that we can't focus on.
And they got stuck with me.
You know, the continuity of everything, and just handling all those things. And by no means is it a small task. It definitely deserved its own person, maybe even two people, but
I mean, Mackenzie is probably two people. Herself.
Right, yeah, I mean, she brings two personalities to set. I met Mackenzie on set of another web series, which is now called Easton High. And honestly, she scared the shit out of me.
Why is that?
Because she's just so energetic. You know what I mean? It's like, it doesn't matter the time of day. If we're on set at 6 a.m. or it's late at night, like Mackenzie's just this sparkling light. Like if you've ever seen like just one of those bouncy balls. It also has glitter
Yeah.
on it and lights up when it hits the floor. Like that's
I like
Mackenzie,
that.
just full out energy, just glowing.
I like
And I was
that.
like,
He was like, she can't be on the
I don't know if
series.
I can rock with her. But
She's not on the series.
as we kept, as I kept shooting and I watched her work, and I realized she had some other passions. I thought the talent is there, and a lot of times talent just needs a direction. It just needs to be pointed somewhere. Otherwise, it's bouncing everywhere. I thought she would be good for the show. I knew she would be good for me, to have that help, and also because she's young and I don't like that social media stuff. Like, I don't mind it, but I don't stay consistent with it. And one of the things that I really have learned from my short time at Array is that you have to submit to that beast and make it a part of what you do. So that was something that was important to me, because there's really no point in making something great if nobody sees it, right? Like, I don't want to make something just because I want people to see it,
Right.
but
If it's
I
gonna be
want
awesome,
people
yeah.
to see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
Like,
watch it.
yeah, to watch it. So she was critical to that. So to stop talking, just tell me about your experience. Hit me with some of the things that you felt you've learned throughout.
No, you go first.
We're 7 episodes in. We just wrapped our 7th episode last night. We have one more to go. How are you guys feeling?
I mean, honestly, I feel great. I love doing this. I love working with David and Mackenzie. Like, David was just saying, every time I'm on a set with Mackenzie, she's my personal caffeine pill, and like, it's impossible to be tired around her. But also just seeing how dedicated and talented she is, and the work that she does, like, on behalf of, the both of us. Like, she's incredible, and David is ridiculously talented. Like, I can't help but crack up, and I'm supposed to be the one that's not noticed the least on set. And so
I feel like we always have a moment during a shoot where we lock eyes because we're both trying not to laugh at something. Whatever the joke is, at some point we're both like, holding that laugh in. I think that's probably one of my favorite parts about working with you. That I'll cherish is that one moment where we're both like, you're like, I can't believe you wrote that. I can't believe I wrote that either. Like, but
this motherfucker's wild.
It's probably a dick joke. But yeah, Mackenzie, what about you?
Okay, you guys said such nice. Like, I'm like, dang. Like, I was like, I'm not really a hard worker. They're lying to you guys. I literally look up to both of them so much. David is so dedicated. Caleb is like so focused on set that it's hard for me. Like, if he does chuckle or if I like break something, I'm like, I did it. I broke the focus. So like, I look up to them for very different reasons. Caleb's very focused and very zen and always willing to like help no matter where he's needed. And then David is just running the whole thing single-handedly, not by himself, but in his head, he's like, I need this, that. And I'm like, how does one person operate that? So I look up to them for like very organized, very maturity, and I am glad that I could bring that kid out in them. So that makes me feel good. I'm glad I could be a sparkly, bouncy ball.
You bring up something really awesome that like I think has been an integral part of just this crew, and like how organized David is when he comes onto set, just compared to other sets that I've worked on, other people that I've worked with. Like, everything is ready to go. It's all organized, and there's no muss, no fuss. And it just makes shooting a lot easier. We can, like, focus in and work, and also, like, have a good time with each other.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think for me, one of the main things I want to get across and why I felt compelled to do this is because people have such access to iPhones and they shoot things and they're doing it every day. There's now this perception that we just come on set, do some shit, and leave. Like that's the amount of work that goes into it, and that's just so far from true. Like I spend days and nights looking at the script, trying to think how I'm going to block it, and that's hard to do because I don't even book the space until the last week, and then I really get into the physical movement of it. And then on top of that, I'm thinking, okay, well, where's Caleb gonna go? What do I need Mackenzie to do when we get in there? And that's also one of the things I wanted to give you guys recognition for is, as we started and where we are now, there's so much more that I don't have to do because you're on it. And just knowing that you're on it is such a relief to me that I can dive more into being with the actors, which is really where I excel. And what's going to make this show a success is me being able to push the actors and get them to where they need to be in their character. Like when Mackenzie started, she probably didn't know how to put the camera on the tripod. Like, you know,
I still don't. No, I'm just kidding.
But you know, it's like now I can be like, all right, mount the tripod, you know, get the lens on. Get the lights up, all these things that would take me 15 minutes to do while the actors are just sitting waiting. Yeah. Now I can be interacting with them. And again, and you guys know, I'm not the kind of director or leader that's just giving out tasks for the fuck of it. I really believe as a director, you need to know and understand each part of it, which is why I have you interact with Caleb on sound, or why I'll say something to you like, check the ISO. I already know you don't know what that is, but I'm letting you know I want you to know what it is.
Last night you said check the ISO.
Because, you know, you're getting ready to do your own thing, and obviously you're feeling confident enough to do that, and I'm hoping I'm playing a part in that.
A huge part.
But you're going to need to be able to speak their language. It's like I asked Caleb, are we in the green on that? Are you getting any shadows? Like, I know what he's supposed to be doing and what he's doing, and I think that gives him confidence knowing that we can talk to each other in his language about it. And when you're going off the shoot, even if I'm not there shooting it, you need to understand a cameraman's language. You know, what are you 180 degrees on the shot, or you know, is it too hot in this corner? What, you know, talk to each other about what's going on. I think it's important to know these things. I think that's what separates the people who are just out shooting things versus a real artist who's creating, is being able to understand everything that's going on, the grips, you know, the gaffers. It's a much larger responsibility to it, and I think that's something that I've seen just progress as we go through each episode. Right? I give you a little bit more and a little bit more, and it's a very conscious effort. What else can Mackenzie be doing? What else can she be learning? What haven't I shown her as we go through this process that I need to make sure when she walks away from, she understands?
But I've also noticed that because I did come to you like wanting mentorship, and I've even gotten mentorship from Caleb about sound. That one time I had to try to do it, but when I go on to different sets, like I just did a big movie set, and I was like, I knew what they were talking about, and I was like, oh, like what lens are we using, or what are we doing? And they were like, why do you know all this? And I was like, well, let me tell you something. So
I learned it from watching you.
Yes.
Single.
So when I go places or when I do things, like even on Easton High, I've gotten to direct a few things there, and everyone's like, why do you know what you're doing? Or like, why do you know this? Or why do you know that? And I'm like, because I do listen to David when he talks sometimes. Like I was like,
I'm glad someone's listening.
And like I listen and I observe. So when I see you, I'm like, oh, I like that, or like I could put that into my directing style, or like I'm like, I don't know what button he's pushing, but what is it? And I don't know how all these mics are set up right now, but like I know they're all attached. So it's like things like that where it's like you guys have helped me so much, not just within single or just growing as a person, just like in the creative world of film as a whole.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's something really, really cool that I've taken out of this experience of shooting this series, has been just being on set and observing like how the process works, and like seeing you do your thing and seeing you do your thing. Like, I don't know anything about film whatsoever. Like, I don't want to touch a camera because I'll break it.
Right.
But like, you give me a sound bag and like I'm right at home. So like, kind of learning their processes a little bit better just through osmosis has been really, really cool.
Yeah. This show is obviously written by a man, but I wanted to be honest in both sides of the dating world, which is probably one of the key reasons I wrote episode 2, Toes Out. I didn't want it to seem like the frustration was just on our side. But being the only female on set, I'm interested in how you received the series thus far. Was it accurate from both sides?
It's so good.
Okay.
It's so good, and I'm getting to see parts where like of men that I'm like, oh, I did
You're
not-
getting a lot of inside
I'm getting a
secrets
lot
on the
of
man
inside
side.
because I'm like, oh yeah, for sure, but I'm like, dang, I guess guys are going through it too, because it's also like one-sided for me. I'm like, oh no, men don't go through it. Like, we go through it. And then I see this, I'm like, damn, all these guys are down bad.
We're struggling.
I was like, damn,
we struggle
they're
out
down
here.
bad. So I think that the series is going to be relatable to both men and women. It doesn't
Good.
matter what you identify as or what your gender is. Like, it's so good. My favorite episode is episode 4. And
Right,
that has
which is the most
nothing to do with women.
male,
Right.
It's so male dominated.
testosterone fueled episode there is.
Hilarious to me. I have no idea why. Like, I'm just like, damn. And I told you guys, reading the script and like seeing it brought to life, I was like,
Yeah.
damn, that's funny.
Yeah.
Like,
It's funny because I thought about it because when we were getting ready to shoot, like I knew Kevin was going to be late, and I was like, well, I want to shoot the single shots we talked about. I was like, I can have Mackenzie read the script. And then I thought about the script. I was like, damn, can I have Mackenzie read the script? Like, there's a lot of dick jokes in there. Like, can I have her read that? Like, maybe Caleb can do say on air reading that shit.
it was so funny. I was like, damn, that's hilarious.
From an engineer standpoint, looking back at everything we've done, what do you think or anticipate? Say we were getting ready to do it again. Is there anything you feel like you've picked up from this that could better prepare you for the next shoot?
I feel really the most useful thing that I've gotten from this experience for myself has been just practical knowledge. Like, really just the experience of like, okay, like putting a lavalier on somebody, instructing them how to do it, and like, you know, just pushing buttons and turning knobs.
Yeah.
And like actually getting dirty with it.
Yeah.
That's honestly been the most fun thing for me too. Like, I'm a nerd through and through.
Yeah.
And so like I love like figuring out new ways to try and do things. So it's like, if I can build my own mic and like use a mic cable that I made myself, like that's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be super happy with that. But I think beyond that, it's also been a lot of just learning how to work in this industry with other people and just kind of the interactions. And I'm really excited to have been a part of something that is created by Black creators and Black authors and Black actors. Like, it's been a really cool experience to kind of be on an outside perspective from that and get like a little bit of inside.
Yeah, I mean, and for me, honestly, single wasn't gonna be that. You know, and again, like if this gets picked up and somebody wants to reproduce, that'd probably be something I'd think about, because I really feel like, you know, dating and love is universal. Which is also why I felt strong enough to just cast Black actors, but it would still translate into other ethnic groups.
It does.
But I still want to be in a situation where I have a Rainbow Coalition cast. I feel like any of the episodes could easily translate into, you know, Toes Out could have easily been Asian American or Pacific Asian. Like it easily could have worked that way. But I think for me, still coming up in the game and not having that kind of reach yet, I wanted to just have a Black cast
For sure.
and show this. this modern dating world and this modern black life, so to speak. But as far as, you know, the things you said about sound, it's very similar with you. Like I said, Caleb and I have been working together for a while, and when I'm editing and I listen, I can hear you getting better. You know what I mean? It's not visual, it's audio. You know, with you, and it's like when I go back and listen to something we did earlier, and I'm like, yeah, he's getting really good. Like this is sharp. It's like I could tell what you did and what we did. You know what I mean? I could tell the difference.
I can
like,
tell too.
It's like, okay,
I did my best.
It's like, yeah, I hear it.
Episode 2 was rough, okay?
So yeah, like even, and that kind of has to be one of the main points of this, right? Is that we're all getting better, we're all improving, so that when we go out into the world and we work in larger productions, we have this knowledge and we have this skill, and that was important to me. We have 1 episode left, but of the 7, favorite episode.
Ooh, it's a tie between The Toxic and The Amazon.
Good episodes. Mackenzie?
I gotta go with The Whelp.
The Whelp?
The
Whoop!
It might be because it's so fresh in my brain, but The Whelp.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's interesting, your selections. I mean, you probably know what mine is. Episode 3, The Haunted, but because that's the most personal for me as a writer.
Beautiful.
The most honest reflection of my life. And that one is one that's out in film festivals right now. Actually, we're supposed to hear about the Philadelphia World Film Festival right now because we're finalists. Fingers crossed we'll win. But
of course we are.
They're all so good. It's like, which ones do I submit? And then I want to get it into film festivals that take the whole series. But more than anything, I just wanted you guys to be proud of yourself. Make sure that you know I appreciate it, and that I say thank you 1,000 times for everything that you've done as we get ready to shoot this last one. It's an incredible accomplishment, you know, for just the 3 of us to be doing this, just purely out of the love of what the art is. And I inspired you in any way, I mean, that's a win. I've always been a teacher, so to speak. My mother was a teacher. I'm here because I had great teachers, and I feel like that's a part of me now, where I want to be doing the work, but there's also always going to be in a mode where, like, can I teach something? Is there something that can be learned here that I can share? So I feel like that's been accomplished. Any questions for me?
Yes.
Why are you so crazy?
No, you kind of asked the ones that I wanted to ask you, but so single's been on your mind obviously for a while. What made you really just hunker down and be like, this is go time?
You know, you're never satisfied in this business because, like I said, you put something out and it's gone so quickly. Almost to a point where it can just be depressing and demoralizing. It's like, hey guys, I made something. But when you do it so much, people are just like, oh, that's just David, he made something, and they're gone. You know what I mean? And it's like, I need to create, but I don't want to get burnt out. And so during the pandemic, I took some time just reflecting on what needed to be done and kind of just waiting for something to hit me. And again, most of my work is romantic in a sense, and I wanted to do something like this, romantic comedy wise, and I can't remember which episode I wrote first, but I know I was out with Dom, and she told me about something that she had been through with a guy, which was basically the Whelp moment. And I went home and I was like, and then I just started writing. Like that was kind of the start of the writing process of this. And I just kept having more ideas, and I was like, all right, then we're gonna do this, and it's like, well, I gotta have a girl's moment in here. And then I went on a date, and I just pulled her toes out. I was like, oh, that was hilarious. Like, at least I got something out of it. I'm writing that, and it just kind of kept going until I was sitting on 8 scripts, and I was like, okay, now what? And then obviously Dante did his web series, and I was like, I can do that, and we went from there.
Was there a moment during pre-production writing or like during production that you kind of just realized that you had something special with Single?
I mean, when I wrote the scripts, I knew they were good. Right? Like, sometimes you write it and you look at it like, oh, this is trash. When I wrote it, I was like, this is good. Like, this is good. Like, if I can get this done. But that's the big if, right? If I can get this done. Mm-hmm. Because then you put on your producer's hat and you're looking at it like, that's 8 locations, that's casting, that's, am I gonna shoot it myself? If I do, that's gear. Mm-hmm. The numbers can easily talk you out of doing something. And they tried, but I was like, I have the team. It was like, if I do it maybe once a month, I can swing it financially. Like, I can get there and get it done. And even still, it's like, hustling on the side, doing our side gigs like we do, so I can pay the actors. It's a lot, but I felt so strongly about it once I really had it in my mind that this could work. I just wasn't stopping. Like, I was just gonna get it done. Somehow, some way, and here we are, 1 episode left. So I'm glad the numbers didn't talk me out of it.
Me too.
Yeah. We're almost there.
What's your wildest dating story from real life, David?
Calling him out.
And do we hear about it in Single?
I don't think you probably hear about it in Single, but I mean, the toes out is pretty wild. It's up there. I think the only other thing was like a girl like basically force fed me spinach dip when I didn't want it. She was like, no, it's the best spinach dip in all of LA. You got to try it. Don't force feed people. If they don't want to try the dip, just let them not try the dip. Yeah,
that's just more dip for you.
Yeah, it's either that or the time where I noticed a girl's tattoo and it was her child's name on there, and I didn't know she had kids, and then it turned into this thing.
Oh,
but
that's fun.
It might be toes out. That just took me by surprise. I've never seen a woman show me her feet during a date.
Well, did they look good?
Honestly, I was pretty buzzed. They might have.
They
were freshly painted, her toes, but her feet might have been fucked up.
David's like, nice.
A couple little piggies missing, huh?
If you're subscribed, I'm sorry. Your feet are beautiful. Tell your friends to watch the show.
She's listening to this whole thing. You're gonna end up with a letter. Dear David, I didn't think my toes were
Yeah, I mean, that's honestly been a fear of my life. Like, she's gonna watch this and be like, that lying motherfucker. Like, did you or did you not take your feet out?
If you recognize yourself in any episode of Single, please write us in the comments.
Single is a work of fiction. None of these characters are based off of real people. Just want to put that out there.
All your friends are gonna be watching. Is this fucking play about us?
No, it's not about anyone. I am a schizophrenic, and I made it all up in my head.
Period.
David's really creative. I don't know where he gets it.
I love it.
It's all just fictional stuff. Go watch Single. As you can see, 3 people worked really hard on it. They put a lot of their time into it. A lot of passion went into this project to make it work. I cannot believe we're almost done.
I know.
But I'm also very excited that we're almost done. And we're going to push the marketing edge of it and really try to get some eyes on it. And who knows, a year from now, what will we be talking about? Is this a moment that, propelled us into the next level of our careers? And that's really what I hope for, is that we can be sitting down one day having lunch, laughing about how this changed the
Kickstarted
course of our lives. I'm David Anthony Butler.
Caleb Minch.
Mackenzie Standback.
This is the team that created Single Single, and we really, really hope that you check it out and let us know what you think. Peace out.
Bye.